Chosen one. What I'm about to share with you is not just another message. It's a divine announcement. What you're hearing right now is a call from heaven itself. If this video has found you, understand this. It's not by accident. God Himself has drawn you here because something massive is about to unfold in your life. You are not just in a season of waiting anymore. You are in a season of activation. God said, "Hold on tight because what's coming next will shake your world in the best way possible." You are shifting from preparation to participation. Stepping into God's massive plan for your life. Everything you've been praying for, crying over, and believing God for is no longer in the distance. It's moving toward you right now. This isn't just a mindset change. It's a spiritual realignment. Heaven's timing and your obedience are colliding. And miracles are about to manifest right before your eyes. Things are about to start happening so fast, it'll leave you speechless, not because you earned it, but because God chose you for it. But listen, chosen one, you must understand how to stay in position. Don't let fear or doubt pull you off course. God is calling you to stand firm, to trust Him, and to prepare your spirit for what's coming. Before we dive into this prophetic word, do 3 things right now. Before we dive into this life-changing message, take a moment to pause this video and do 3 things. Hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 1,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 77. This number will send a powerful signal to the universe, amplifying the energy of this video. And hear me clearly. If you've made it this far, it's because your spirit knows this message is for you. Many will click away, but the chosen will stay because deep down you already feel the fire. You know that your life is about to change. Now, let's get into this powerful word. God said, "Hold on tight. I'm about to use you in my massive plan right now." Something extraordinary is stirring. A divine invitation meant just for you. It's as if the very heavens are whispering your name, urging you to hold on tight. This isn't a gentle nudge or a casual suggestion. It's a powerful summons that shakes the foundation of your soul. The road ahead won't always be easy, but it's vital, and you were chosen long before you ever imagined. Think of it like a great wave building in the ocean. You can either be swept away or rise to ride it with unwavering courage. Imagine a call so profound that it ignites a fire within you. A calling that demands your full attention and your boldest steps. This is not a time to hesitate or doubt. It's a moment where your faith must be anchored deeply because the divine is about to unleash a plan far greater than anything you could have dreamed. Like a master artist preparing a masterpiece, God is putting the final strokes into the canvas of history. And you are the brush in His hand. If you felt restless, if there's a stirring in your heart that can't be ignored, that's the divine call reaching you. Hold on tight because the journey you're about to embark on requires strength, resilience, and a spirit willing to move beyond comfort zones. This call is sacred. It's personal, and it demands everything you've got. The time to step up is now. There's a moment in life when doubt tries to overshadow hope. But here's the truth. You are fully prepared for this mission. God has been equipping you behind the scenes, shaping your character, building your skills, and cultivating your heart for this exact moment. You may not see all the preparation, but the divine architect has been working tirelessly to make sure you are ready. Like a soldier trained for battle, you are poised to step into your calling with confidence. Think about how seeds remain buried in the dark soil before bursting through the earth into sunlight. Your readiness is just like that hidden preparation beneath the surface. Invisible to many, but essential for growth. You have everything you need, even if it doesn't feel that way right now. The doubts and fears are lies that seek to distract you. You are ready because God says so. This isn't about your perfection or your strength alone. It's about God's assurance ringing loud and clear in your spirit. His confirmation is a sacred seal on your life, declaring that you are equipped and empowered for this divine assignment. Embrace this truth today because the world is waiting for you to rise and answer the call. Every monumental movement needs committed participants. People who show up fully, ready to play their part. This is your moment to lean in, to engage with everything you have. Imagine an orchestra. Every instrument matters. Every note contributes to the harmony. You are an essential player in God's grand symphony, and your role can't be outsourced or ignored. The world's transformation depends on your full participation. Think about history's great movements, civil rights, social revolutions, spiritual awakenings. They didn't happen because people stood on the sidelines. They happened because ordinary people decided to become extraordinary by stepping into their God-given roles. Your participation is a vital thread woven into this vast tapestry of change. This mission needs your voice, your hands, your heart fully invested. God's massive plan is too big for just a few. It's designed for many. The power of collective faith and action is unstoppable. When you participate fully, you align yourself with a wave of divine purpose that is changing nations and breaking chains. The time to hold back is over. It's time to move forward boldly and passionately, knowing your part matters more than you could ever realize. It's easy to feel inadequate when faced with a massive mission. But remember this, God never sends His chosen ones into the battlefield empty-handed. You are fully equipped with supernatural strength, divine wisdom, and heavenly resources. You carry a power within you that defies human limitations. A power that will enable you to accomplish the impossible. Consider the story of David, a young shepherd boy who faced a giant with nothing but a sling and faith. He didn't win because of his weapon or skills alone, but because God empowered him. You have that same divine power at your disposal today. When challenges arise, don't rely on your own strength. Lean into the power God has placed within you and watch mountains move. You are not just sent. You are sent in power, authority, and purpose. God's presence goes before you. His wisdom guides your every step, and His strength will sustain you through every trial. No matter how daunting the task, you are more than equipped to handle it. This is a truth to hold on to when the road gets tough. Being chosen for such a monumental mission carries great responsibility. It's not a light burden, but a sacred trust. You are being entrusted with a task that has eternal significance, carrying the weight of divine purposes on your shoulders. This responsibility is a call to rise above personal fears and limitations. To step into a maturity and courage you may not have known you had. Think about leaders throughout history who carried heavy burdens not because they wanted to but because they understood the cost of inaction. Moses led a nation out of slavery. Esther risked her life to save her people. Their stories remind us that responsibility is not a curse but an honor. You have been chosen for such a time as this. And that means you are, capable of carrying what God has placed before you. Owning this responsibility means embracing the challenges with humility and perseverance. It requires daily dedication, a willingness to learn, and the courage to stand firm when the world pressures you to fall back. The weight you carry is great, but so is the glory that awaits on the other side of faithful obedience. One of the most comforting truths in this journey is that you will never walk alone. God has established a divine support system around you. Angels, mentors, fellow believers, and the Holy Spirit, all working together to uphold you. Even in moments when loneliness creeps in, remember that heaven's armies are marching alongside you. Picture Elijah, exhausted and ready to give up, only to be ministered to by an angel who gave him strength to continue. This same supernatural support is available to you today. God's provision is not just spiritual. It's practical, relational, and personal. He sends people, opens doors, and provides wisdom exactly when you need it. No matter how overwhelming the assignment feels, know that you are surrounded by divine favor and heavenly assistance. You are part of a spiritual family that will lift you up, encourage you, and equip you. This mission is too big for one person alone, and God's support system is the assurance that you will not be left to face it by yourself. We are living in a time where both spiritual realms and earthly systems are undergoing rapid and profound transformation. What once seemed stable is now shifting beneath our feet. This season demands that we stay alert, adaptable, and anchored in faith, because the landscape is changing and with it the opportunities and challenges before us. Look at history. Seasons of change always come with chaos and confusion, but also with incredible breakthroughs. Just as the early church emerged from persecution into powerful revival, you are standing at the cusp of a new era. The spiritual alignments are breaking chains and reshaping destinies, while societal systems are being redefined in real time. You have been placed in this precise moment, not by accident, but by divine design. Your role is to be a steadfast leader who navigates these changes with wisdom and courage. Embrace the shifts, knowing that they are part of a greater divine strategy to awaken nations and advance God's kingdom. When God's timing is right, favor and acceleration come like a rushing wind, propelling you forward faster than you ever imagined. This season is ripe with divine blessings designed to break down barriers and fast-track your progress. It's like stepping on the accelerator of a race car. What once took months or years will now unfold in days and weeks. Favor is more than luck. It's a supernatural advantage that opens doors, creates connections, and brings divine opportunities. Remember Joseph in Egypt? His favor with Pharaoh unlocked a destiny that changed not only his life but entire nations. You too are about to experience moments where things suddenly fall into place, confirming that God's hand is moving on your behalf. Acceleration demands readiness. You must be prepared to move quickly, decisively, and with faith. The enemy will try to slow you down, but God's favor is relentless, breaking through obstacles and making the impossible possible. Get ready to run with the wind of God's blessing at your back. Some doors in life cannot be opened by human effort alone. They require a supernatural key, a divine unlocking. In this season, expect these doors to swing wide open before you, revealing opportunities and pathways that defy explanation. These openings are divine invitations to step into your destiny and expand your influence beyond what you thought possible. Think about the Apostle Peter, who was freed from prison by an angel. Literal doors opening supernaturally. God is still in the business of unlocking doors that no one can shut. When you see these moments, don't hesitate or second guess it. Walk boldly through, knowing these are God's confirmations that you are on the right path. These doors will lead you to new relationships, greater impact, and deeper purpose. They are designed to challenge your faith and enlarge your vision. Prepare your heart to recognize and seize these divine opportunities, because they are a sign that heaven is aligning with your steps. God speaks in many ways through dreams, visions, words from others, and inner promptings. This journey will be marked by divine encounters that confirm you are on the right path. These moments are God's way of reassuring you, providing clarity, and directing your steps amidst uncertainty. Consider the story of Gideon, who received clear signs from God before going into battle. You will also experience these holy moments, visions that inspire, words that settle your heart, and divine confirmations that encourage you to keep moving forward. They are not coincidences, but divine check-ins that keep you aligned with God's will. Stay attentive and open. Sometimes these confirmations come subtly. Other times they shake your very core. They are gifts from God designed to build your faith, strengthen your resolve, and remind you that you are never alone. Trust these encounters. They are your spiritual compass in this journey. The mission you've been called to is not without spiritual opposition. Strongholds, whether in individuals, communities, or nations, stand as barriers to God's kingdom advancing. You are a warrior called to engage in spiritual warfare, breaking chains, and releasing freedom through prayer, faith, and bold action. Think of Paul's letters urging believers to put on the full armor of God. This is real. The enemy will throw every distraction, delay, and attack to deter you, but you are empowered to stand firm. The battles are fierce, but victory is certain when you rely on God's strength and authority. Your role in breaking strongholds isn't just for your benefit. It impacts generations to come. Every chain broken is a testimony of God's power and love. You are a spiritual pioneer, opening paths of breakthrough and healing. This fight is sacred. Embrace it with courage and confidence. What you do matters far beyond your immediate circle. The mission you carry is part of a global awakening. Souls being stirred, nations being transformed, and darkness receding. Your faith and obedience ripple across borders and cultures, contributing to a worldwide movement of hope and revival. History shows us that small actions can ignite great awakenings. The prayer meetings in a small room in the early church birthed a movement that changed the Roman Empire. Today, your participation is part of that same ripple effect. God is using your life to awaken hearts, shift atmospheres, and renew hope across nations. This is a call to think bigger than yourself, to see your role as a global influencer in the spiritual realm. Your prayers, your obedience, and your faith are catalysts for a revival that will echo through generations. The world is waiting for the impact only you can make. Fear is natural, especially when stepping into the unknown. But faith is the anchor that steadies your soul amid life's storms. This mission demands that you choose courage over comfort, trust over doubt, and boldness over retreat. When fear whispers lies, faith must roar louder. Think about countless heroes of faith who faced terrifying odds yet pressed forward. Daniel in the lion's den, Esther before the king, Paul imprisoned yet unshaken. Their courage was not born from the absence of fear, but from the presence of unwavering faith. You are called to walk that same path. Let faith be the lens through which you see your circumstances. When fear tries to paralyze you, remind yourself that God is greater, His promises are true, and His power is with you. Courage is your weapon, and faith is your shield. Step forward boldly, knowing that you are never alone. Obedience is more than following instructions. It's the key that unlocks God's abundant blessings and supernatural favor. When you say yes to God's call, doors open, provision flows, and miracles unfold. Your obedience sets in motion a divine, chain reaction that moves heaven and earth. Consider Abraham, who left everything familiar simply because God said go. His obedience birthed a nation and a legacy that still blesses the world today. Like Abraham, your willingness to obey even when it's hard positions you to receive God's best. Obedience requires humility, trust, and action. It's not passive. It demands moving forward, even when the full picture isn't clear. Every step you take in obedience brings you closer to your destiny and releases blessings not just for you, but for countless others. Walk with purpose. Knowing obedience is the path to power. This is the defining moment you've been waiting for. The time for waiting, doubting, and holding back is over. The world needs your leadership, your faith, and your courage. Rise up boldly, and take your place as a leader in this divine movement. Your destiny is calling, and it demands that you answer with strength and conviction. Leadership isn't about position or title. It's about influence and impact. Whether in your family, community, or beyond, your example inspires others to rise as well. This is your season to shine, to break barriers, and to fulfill the unique purpose God has crafted just for you. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. God's presence goes with you. His power flows through you, and His plan is unfolding through you. The moment to lead is now. Step into your destiny with confidence and boldness, knowing that your life will be a beacon of hope and transformation for generations to come. The world as we know it is on the brink of extraordinary disruption. Not chaos for chaos's sake, but divine disruption. God is setting the stage for monumental global shifts that will rewrite the rules of how nations, societies, and spiritual realms operate. This is a carefully orchestrated upheaval designed to bring justice, restoration, and breakthrough where it's needed most. You are part of this unfolding drama, positioned precisely for such a time as this. Divine disruption shakes up old systems and exposes hidden weaknesses. But it also paves the way for new growth and fresh opportunities. Just like a gardener prunes branches to encourage stronger fruit-bearing limbs, God is pruning what no longer serves His purpose. The discomfort of change is temporary compared to the eternal transformation that follows. Your role in this is crucial. You are being prepared to walk confidently through this season of shaking. Think of this time as a divine reset button, a spiritual and cultural recalibration that calls for leaders who can navigate uncertainty with faith. God is raising up those who will not only survive disruption, but thrive in it, turning upheaval into momentum. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by the fast pace of change, take heart. You are not only ready, you are essential to what's coming next. As these global shifts accelerate, expect the unexpected and lean into God's supernatural guidance. The foundations of the world are being shaken, but God's kingdom is unshakable. Prepare yourself spiritually, mentally, and emotionally for the waves of divine disruption that will usher in a new era of hope and restoration. Across the earth, a spiritual army is awakening. A mighty force of believers rising up to answer God's call. This is not a passive group, but an active, determined movement of individuals equipped with courage, faith, and divine purpose. Like a sunrise breaking through the darkest night, this army is coming forth to bring light, truth, and healing to a world in desperate need. God is assembling His chosen ones from all walks of life, young and old, rich and poor, experienced and novice. No one is excluded because the strength of this army lies in its diversity and unity. Imagine an army forged in prayer, empowered by the Spirit, and driven by a heart that beats for God's kingdom. This awakening is unstoppable because it is fueled by divine passion and supernatural power. The enemy fears this awakening because it signals a shift in spiritual authority. This army is trained not just to fight battles but to break strongholds, bring freedom, and declare God's victory on every front. Every prayer warrior, intercessor, and faithful servant is a vital soldier in this divine army, marching forward with boldness and unity. You are invited to join this awakening. Your gifts, your story, and your faith have a place in this movement. When the spiritual army rises, entire communities, cities, and nations will be transformed. This is your moment to enlist and stand firm as part of God's unstoppable force for good. There is wisdom beyond human understanding that God reserves for those who are faithful and obedient. It's a hidden blueprint, divine strategies and insights carefully unveiled to those who walk in alignment with His will. This wisdom unlocks doors to success, breakthrough, and clarity in the midst of confusion, guiding you step by step on the path God has designed specifically for you. This hidden wisdom isn't about intellectual knowledge alone. It's about spiritual discernment, the ability to see beyond the surface, to hear God's voice above the noise, and to understand His plans when they seem hidden from plain sight, like a treasure chest waiting to be opened. God's blueprint is available to those who seek Him wholeheartedly and obey His guidance. History is filled with examples of those who received divine wisdom at crucial moments. Solomon asking for wisdom. Jesus teaching in parables. Paul revealing mysteries of faith. Today you too are invited to tap into this reservoir of heavenly insight. Your obedience unlocks this wisdom and empowers you to make decisions that align perfectly with God's will. Don't underestimate the power of simple obedience. It activates divine revelation. When you say yes to God's promptings, you're stepping into a higher realm of understanding that will elevate your mission and multiply your impact. Embrace God's blueprint and watch as the hidden wisdom unfolds beautifully in your life. Nothing in your life is accidental. Every challenge, every season, every encounter has been orchestrated by God to position you perfectly for the greater mission ahead. Divine alignment is the mysterious but powerful process through which God brings people, opportunities, and resources into your life at exactly the right time. When you recognize this alignment, you step into favor and destiny like never before. Think of a ship sailing across the ocean guided by the stars. Divine alignment is your spiritual navigation system ensuring that you don't drift off course but move steadily towards your destiny. Sometimes you may feel delayed or confused. But God is working behind the scenes setting things in motion that will culminate in breakthrough. This positioning often requires patience and trust. You may feel like you're waiting in the wings, but that time is preparing you to enter the stage with power and purpose. God's alignment in Gomer is that when you act, you'll move with maximum impact and minimum resistance. It's about more than timing. It's about purpose, meeting, preparation. Stay sensitive to the Holy Spirit's nudges and remain faithful in every small step. When divine alignment happens, you'll recognize it by the peace that surpasses understanding and the doors that open without struggle. You are exactly where God wants you, positioned for greatness in His plan. We are witnessing a profound realignment. Spiritual forces in heaven are shifting earthly systems to reflect God's kingdom more clearly. This isn't just political or social change. It's a divine resetting of how power, justice, and authority function in our world. The old systems built on fear, injustice, and corruption are being dismantled, making way for new structures rooted in righteousness and truth. This realignment affects every level: governments, institutions, communities, and even families. It's the spiritual equivalent of an earthquake shaking the foundations to prepare for a stronger, more enduring building. Though it may feel disruptive, it is necessary for transformation and healing to take place. God is rewriting the blueprint for how we govern, relate, and live together. As these systems shift, leaders are being called to rise with integrity, vision, and courage. You may find yourself in a position to influence or participate in these changes. Whether you lead a small group or a large organization, your role is vital in partnering with heaven's agenda to realign Earth's structures. Remember, the realignment is not just about dismantling, but also about restoration. It's about building back better with God's principles as the foundation. As you engage with this movement, you become a builder of God's kingdom on earth, ushering in a new era marked by justice, peace, and righteousness. God's provision is not just adequate, it is overflowing. When He calls you to a mission, He supplies everything you need in abundance, often in ways that defy logic and expectation. You are not sent to struggle or lack. You are sent to experience His supernatural supply that meets every need before you even ask. Think about the miracles in the Bible. Manna in the desert, fish and loaves multiplying, Paul's needs met by unseen helpers. These stories are not just ancient history. They are examples of how God's provision operates today. Your mission is backed by heaven's storehouse overflowing with resources, finances, wisdom, and favor. The key to accessing this overflow is faith and dependence on God. When you trust Him with your needs and step out in obedience, doors open, and blessings pour in. Sometimes the provision comes through unexpected sources: a timely word, a generous partner, a breakthrough idea. Stay expectant and open to God's ways. No matter the size of your assignment, know that God's supernatural supply is unlimited. He delights in providing abundantly for His children. Lean into this truth. Walk boldly in faith and watch as provision flows effortlessly to empower every step of your mission. Behind every event, every challenge, and every breakthrough is God's divine strategy, a purposeful plan unfolding to reshape the future. This strategy is beyond human understanding. Yet it works flawlessly, weaving together people, places, and moments to fulfill His eternal purposes. You are a crucial piece of this divine puzzle. Called to play your part with faith and focus, God's strategy often looks like chaos to the human eye. But He is always in control. He uses what seems like setbacks and detours to position you exactly where you need to be. Think of Joseph, whose journey from prison to palace was God's strategic plan to save nations. Your life's path is no less intentional. This unfolding strategy demands trust and obedience, especially when the way forward is unclear. Remember that the divine purpose always includes blessing, restoration, and victory. Even when you face opposition, you are moving toward a future shaped by God's perfect plan. Embrace your role in this strategy. Be intentional with your prayers, decisions, and actions. As you align with God's purpose, you'll see His plan unfold in ways that will not only change your life, but impact generations to come. Change often brings chaos and the status quo resists fiercely. But you are called to be a disruptor not for destruction but for divine transformation. Standing firm in God's plan means resisting complacency, challenging unjust systems and boldly stepping into the unknown with unwavering faith. Throughout history, every great revival and revolution began with people who refused to accept the world as it was. They disrupted the status quo with prayer, courage, and bold action. Your mission is no different. You are called to shake up the spiritual and earthly realms, breaking through barriers that have held back God's kingdom. This requires strength, resilience, and a deep reliance on God. The enemy will try to intimidate and distract you. But standing firm means trusting God's power to sustain you. Like a tree planted by rivers of water, your roots must grow deep so you can weather every storm. Disruption is not easy, but it is necessary. As you stand firm in God's plan, you become a catalyst for lasting change. Your faith will inspire others to rise, and together you will usher in a new era marked by God's justice, peace, and victory. In the midst of brokenness, God is calling you to be a restorer, a builder of hope, and a reconstructor of dreams. What has been lost, damaged, or stolen will be rebuilt through your faithfulness and God's power. Restoration is not just about returning to the past, but creating something stronger, more beautiful, and more aligned with God's purposes. Think of Nehemiah, who rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem amidst opposition and despair. His story is a powerful reminder that restoration requires vision, perseverance, and prayer. You are chosen to rebuild in your family, community, or sphere of influence, bringing healing where there was hurt and light where there was darkness. Restoration often involves reclaiming what the enemy tried to steal: joy, peace, purpose, and destiny. It demands courage to face what's broken and faith to envision what can be. God's promise is clear. He will restore the years the locusts have eaten and multiply the blessings in your life. As you step into this role, know that you are a beacon of hope. Your commitment to rebuilding and restoring will inspire others and bring God's kingdom closer to